Good morning. Welcome. This week's host, Selena of How Only Socially Inspired, and Anna of Nomad About. Host, Moni Jefferson, serial entrepreneur, minority business leader, community builder, and active duty Air Force spouse to discuss pitching your business. Good
Yay.
morning, Anna.
Good morning. We are so excited for today. I'm a huge Moni Jefferson fangirl.
Yes.
Fangirl.
Oh my God, totally, right?
Right? Yes.
Stalking her for quite a long time. So it's kind of exciting that we can even talk to her
It's been
in
a
person.
couple of years, right? And then the first time I got an actual message, comment back, I'm like, oh my God, it was Moni.
Right. I do. I adore her. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I kind of took over because I was excited, but to kind of say what, Moni is the business partner and friend of Flossie Hall, who we had last season. And so as Anna has kind of wrote into our script, this is a perfect rounding the experience, because if you don't know how much we love AMSE, how much we love Moni, how much we love Flossie, it's kind of a perfect way to say, hi, here's the other half of why we like to overwork ourselves by being part of AMSE.
Know how much we love them, they have not been listening to our show, clearly.
Yeah. Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, today's show is going to be amazing. Last week, our guest Lauren had said something that resonated with us, where we had mentioned mental health awareness is it was a week and it was a month. And she was saying, it should be something that was daily. She wished that everybody kind of not celebrated, but was cognizant of it, on the daily. And so Anna and I have decided that we wanted to make that a part of our show, in the sense of we are calling her, we had a big talk with her, and then it was so she's going to be our mental health barista for our show. That's official. And so she's going to add a mental health component to our show, and we think, it's important. And I don't know, we're excited.
Yeah, we're excited. It's an extra question, and it kind of, we're hoping that it just kind of makes everybody feel a little more connected, or get to know our guests a little bit better with their response. So it's going to be super fun.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Let's introduce Moni. Let's get
and wait, hold on. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do the bio, right? Let's do this. Go ahead, Anna.
Yes. Oh, okay. So let's see. Moni is, okay, we already said this, but I'm going to repeat it because it's worth repeating. Moni is a serial entrepreneur. She's a minority business leader. She's a community builder, and she's an active duty Air Force spouse. That is a heck of a lot of things to be, people. A lot.
And we're not even done with
That's line number 1 on the bio. So here we go. Okay, she's also the owner of Dog Tags and Heels, which is a PR and social media agency where she works with national and celebrity clients to build brand evangelism and social impact. Most notably, Blue Star Families, Heroes at Home, Military Spouse Advocacy Network, and Semper K9. Pretty awesome. She's also known for her work in the tech space. Moni has created and raised capital for 3 military lifestyle apps: MilCam, Milimoji, and My Ultimate PCS. She's the founder of MilSpouse Creative and Entrepreneur, which is kind of where we all met. It's a global networking community for MilSpouse entrepreneurs, full of mentorship and resources. And she's the CEO of the Association of Military Spouse Entrepreneurs. That's AMSE. Moni holds a Bachelor of Science from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke in Communications and Public Relations. She's a member of Lambda Theta Alpha Latin sorority. Let me reread that. Sorority. Moni has been married to her high school sweetheart, which I absolutely love. So high school sweetheart for 22 years, named Roy. They have 3 kids, and they remind her of gratitude every day. She's a spin junkie, a travel lover, and she enjoys daily snuggle time with her little ones. Oh, I love it.
I know.
Moni. Yay!
Wait, hold on. Let me unmute you. I'm going to unmute you.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my, I'm blushing. You guys know how to really make a person feel special.
Stop it.
I'm dead serious. It's so sweet. And y'all have a presentation and stuff. I feel like I need my life together.
Hi. Where do you think I got some of my learnings from your fab group? Seriously.
Yes.
Like I'm just gonna share this real fast. So I think when I first joined Moni's group, like, was it maybe 2 years ago? But it was AMSE was not even like, had not evolved yet.
Not yet.
And she had pitched out for these ambassadors, and I was like, did not, in the sense of like, I didn't take myself serious, and I was like, oh yeah, and I remember like sending her, like, I filled out this form. This is 2 years ago, Moni, so I'm sure you don't even recall it because you have a millions of people. But I'm like, I don't even have a website. I don't even have this, and I don't even have this, and I like sent it, and then I'm like, what the heck, Selena? Like, get your ish together. And so as I kept following in the group, and it's not that like it was just funny to myself. Like, I would have laughed if I got it. Like, anyway. But and so you are a big reason why our presentation sometimes is like, it's like I like won't go to bed.
I need y'all to come into my presentation. What are you talking about? I just hop on. I'm like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Well, thank you guys for having me. This is fun. I just, just chill. You guys said chill, so I'm chilling.
We did.
Yeah,
okay.
We're totally yes. One of the things we love most about our show is that it is really supposed to be relaxing, where we're just kind of having a chat about what you're really good at, which I'm excited to learn a bit more about. But before we get to go into any of that, we have to take our Coffe Cup Selfie because we always forget.
Okay. I was making my coffee. Okay.
Yes. No, it's perfect.
Ready. I was getting my life.
No. Okay, getting your life together. Okay, ready? On 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we're done.
I don't know what happened.
And we're done.
I know. Hey, Moni, I'm going to put you up here to the top here. And then Anna, you need to like, if you're listening to us on our podcast, what you can't see right now is sometimes Anna's webcam decides it wants to just go blurry. That's all.
I don't know why. It just does.
Right.
It's hot up in there. Hot.
Yeah. I know.
Everything steams up.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? You're just so
That's exactly what it is.
Anna,
first of all,
dang girl.
Anna
was rising up for my body.
So I was born, I think, like literally up at the North Pole because I run hot, so I need it to be like 60 degrees in my house. Anna was born in the desert and at the beach. And so so when we're together, either I'm hot or she's cold. Like, there's no happy balance for us.
But Coffe and I are too. And
right?
If I get hot, I get mean.
I'm
like, oh no, it's like I love it. So like, I always put the disclaimer out, like, if you're gonna room with me when we're traveling, like, I keep my AC like on 69.
Right.
I'm totally fine with it. I just
69. I literally
everywhere.
don't wear clothes. Like, I mean, I wear clothes like a t-shirt and like, but I'm not like, pajama. You know, those shows where people are like rooming together.
Yes.
I'm like, heck no. I'll be like, I'm going to bed.
Right.
I mean,
yes. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you that is so funny you were saying that. It's like I'm always like, who has the time to wear matching pajamas, but it's nice and silk, and it's like, I know that I would. No, me neither. Well, and okay, I'm a large-chested woman. I can't do buttons when I sleep
like this. Hello. And then, like, if you try to put a safety pin in the middle, it doesn't work because then you got like 2 buttons.
Right.
Like, you got 2.
First time ever, you guys talking about our boobs, like on the show, right? So, but it is a problem, and if you are large-chested, you know exactly what Moni and I are talking about. Like, it is, they have a mind of their own. When I wake up, it's literally, they are not where they started when I went to bed. They're different. So, okay, we'll move right along. I don't want our podcast to fall into some weird, like, boobed conversation. But, okay, we're going to go move right into our mental health barista, Moni, is what we talked about. And she's giving us a question each show that we can kind of get it started with. So don't worry. It is not like, do you love your brother or like, it's nothing like that. at all. So let me pop this in. Okay, there we go.
Situation. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Anna, I'll have you read it and ask and have Moni answer.
Okay. So Moni, we're going to start with a question. What brings you joy about your work?
Oh my gosh, I love this question.
Right?
Because I think about it every time I get up and I'm tired in the morning, or there are hours and hours of work, or things that happen behind the scene that people don't know. What brings me joy is getting messages like, I just started my LLC, or thanks for talking about that topic today. That resonated with me. I think one of the important things that I try to do is really just share and be honest about the person that I am and the journey that I've been on, and the reason I do what I do in life in general. So bringing me joy is giving other people confidence and motivation to go forth and do it, even if it's not perfect. So
I love that. Like, seriously, the words of like a true, like, great leader. Seriously.
Oh, yes.
I'm not even kidding. Like, that's the kind of thing where you look for somebody like that, because that's exactly what you've done for Selena and I, right? I mean, I'm a fangirl for a reason. So you've given me confidence, the tool and the tools. You've created a space where people can find the tools that they need so that they can succeed. So I love that those things. I mean, a lot of people would be like, oh, you know, when I get this win, or when I accomplish something, and you're all about the other person. Just says a lot about your character. I love that.
No, yes. And, you know, I've been around, I just want to say this, and that's exactly what Anna said. Why I love you and Flossie so much is, like, I've been around other groups, and sometimes it's not even, they don't make it about the group. They make it just about themselves. And you guys totally uplift. And then you guys constantly look for opportunities for others that are in your community. I know Anna and I have gotten emails, like leads, just from you guys saying, hey, like, you know, I think Selena would be a great fit. I think Anna would be a great fit for this, or whatever. But you're constantly looking for your community. And I just think, I don't know, that's amazing. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. Especially, I mean, we're just going to sit here and talk about you like you're not.
I know.
I know. I'm just like, I'm going to keep this entire recording on my phone, because, you know, sometimes as a leader, you're not ever, you don't look for accolades. You don't look for that, because you're just walking in your gift. I'm a believer, and I feel like my gift is to serve the spouse community in different capacities, right? So I think, like, as a leader, sometimes you don't, or as a woman who is seen as a strong woman, you know, sometimes we're seen as they don't need that accolade, or, oh, they know they got this, you know, and we do know we got it, because that's why we keep going. But it's so good to, like, hear that some of the things and stories and the things that we're doing, or resources we're providing, are really helping people, because it's the whole reason why we're doing what we're doing. Because if not, it wouldn't be effective, and it wouldn't even be a thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, you I'm just going to push forward a little bit, but we actually took a resource from AMSE that I'm pretty sure you created. And that's kind of the basis for even our conversation today, because really, I mean, if you're not a member of AMSE and you're a military spouse, retired, or veteran, or whatever, you need to be in this group. I'm not even kidding. Like,
swear to God, AMSE, or I swear to God, not paid us for this. Like, it legit is like,
and there's a paid version and there's a not paid version. So if you just want to take a chance, like, test it out, just do the not paid version, find out the kind of stuff that's in there, like, meet the group. It's so, anyway, we're going to get into this a little bit more.
I know.
Well, we're going to give you accolades all day long, because Selena and I are two fangirls that completely and totally recognize the huge amount of benefit you've given so many of us military spouses you guys really have created, like, the space where there was no space before. And that's huge. And, you know, that's huge.
No, and again, their motto of, like, you know, collaboration over competition is such, like, my favorite tagline. motto, whatever. And
we do that all the time.
And that was my biggest thing when I first started my business 5 years ago. One of the things I did notice in this virtual military spouse space that was something that was really missing. And I didn't understand. I was like, why are these people behaving like this? Or why don't they want to collaborate with me? Or things like that. Because when you're new in a space and you're busting in, you know, people are like, whoa, this is my lane. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I've always been very much collaborative, which is why the MilSpouse Creative exists. Because I feel like there's so many missed opportunities when we're trying to do things alone, or there's a feast and famine mentality, right? Like feast and famine, you know, like, you know, it's not like that. You know, there's enough for everybody. And every lid is for every pot. There are some people sure that are like, oh my gosh, I can't her, you know, and that's great. You know, because some people like wheat bread and some people don't.
Right.
It's just keep it moving. You know, I think like that's one of the things that was missing when I first started in this space. And I was like, I remember telling my husband, like, I don't understand why this person is behaving like this towards me. All I did was ask them if they're interested in doing like a live video in the group to share about advocacy efforts. Like, and I think at that time I only had like 400 people in the group. It was really very inactive. I didn't have no idea what I was doing. I just wanted to create a space because I needed people. I was like, I need people like who else is out here in these streets and grow a business online while they PCS? You know, so my husband was like, I don't know. But the more and more I got deeper and deeper into this space, the more I understood. So people feel they're scared. And I think like that is such a mental wellness thing. Like you have to understand that you are not for everybody. And there are, God is going to bring you people that are supposed to be in your space.
Yes.
5 people or 5,000 people, like those are the people that you're supposed to touch. And those blessings turn into other blessings. So like, why are we behaving like this? And I still see it sometimes, and I see the cattiness online. And I have been treated that way. So I can see it and I can tell, and I run in these circles and I'm like, whatever, I'm going to keep collaborating. If you don't want to do it, that's fine.
Right.
Which is the best way to move forward, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just kind of have to like say, I'm not going that direction. I'm not going to participate in this. This brings me down. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Exactly. Goodbye. Yes.
No.
Nobody has energy for that.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not going to lie. It did hurt me. It hurt.
Absolutely.
I was like, I would love to interview you. I think what you've done is inspirational, and I admire that. And, you know, some people were just not responsive.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Bet they wish they were doing it now.
You know?
That's right. That's that total like pretty lady moment though, right? Where you walk into the shop and nobody wants to like, because you don't fit this, or you're not what they think is right, and then they miss out. I mean, I'm not saying but you know,
it's true. It is true, and you have to have a thick skin to be in this space and move forward with momentum in a positive way that's going to affect change. Yeah. And sometimes that means you have to sit at the back table by yourself.
Yeah.
Pull up a chair when you're not invited and squeeze on, you know, in that table. You know, like, hey, I'm here. You know, I remember my first big event in this space. I started work. My girlfriend. So first of all, I didn't even know about Military Spouse of the Year. My girlfriend won it. Yeah. And so I went with her. She's like, do you want to go to this thing? I was like, what? There's a thing? This is a thing? I'm like, not. I'm out here doing nothing. And that's where I met Veronice Castillo from Military Spouse Advocacy Network. And awesome. I was so impressed and inspired by her because, number one, she's a minority. She's Latina. And I could tell like the fire in her eyes when she was talking to me about her organization. I think at that time it was 3 years old. Yeah. And I just admired that. And I was like, that is something I aspire to have, like that, that energy to, because you have this idea to help other people with something you see that's not created, right? And I started working with her, and I went to my first event where nobody knew who I was. And I remember walking in there, it was like high school. Yes. Wow, it's like high school.
Right.
Like, who are you? I was like,
like, did I wear the right shoes? The perfect outfit.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing. And so that's why, like, when I go to events or anything like that, I always look for somebody who's not with other people to just, I make an effort to go up to like 2 or 3 spouses and say, hey, I'm Moni. Like, is this your first event? Is your first time here? Like, what do you do? Oh, I need somebody to connect you with. And I make an introduction to somebody else I know in the room.
That's great.
You know, like, it could be a hard.
Moni, you just literally made me think of that metaphor. It's like you start as a freshman in high school, right? We know that's like the most awkward time of your childhood life. Like middle school is nothing, but like when you're a freshman, it's like, that is exactly how it is to walk into an event as the new vendor, the new person, the new whatever, right? And I think we play with our minds so much, like, oh, they're looking at me, they're judging this outfit, they're judging my face,
judgment, hair, nails, shoes.
Yes,
that's what we're looking at.
Right. And they could just be looking at you, but looking over you, going, I need to get coffee, like over there, right? But we've literally just played the game of we've done that whole like 30 seconds, like they hate me, and now I just need to make sure I'm okay, like
I'm just gonna go to my little table in the corner and be quiet.
Right. And okay, before we move on to Toolkit, though, I do want to just say, Moni, what's kind of interesting is like, you know how you had your mentor really, who you looked at, that you loved the passion in her eyes, and that is exactly how Anna and I feel about you and Flossie. Is you give that to others, so you've come full circle in the fact that like you wanted to be able to provide something like that. So. I mean, how awesome is it, right, to be that person now for others? Like, I don't know if you know that, but that's,
Dang
it, ladies.
I don't even know how to, like, I'm going to just receive it.
Yeah, okay, good. Just receive it. No, but just saying.
I hope that everybody can inspire somebody, even one person.
Yes.
All that you
right.
know. I love that.
Yes. That's a beautiful thought to put out in the world today, right? So there, for anyone who's listening now, or when you replay this, take that thought, go out and do something beautiful like that for somebody today. Like be that person for someone today. Yeah. That's a great, like, into the mental health question of the day, right? Which is what brings you joy.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's move to the next thing. Because I mean, Moni, my gosh, it's like, I'm like, we haven't even got into the actual questions yet. You know what I mean?
We didn't start our 15-minute timer, but I don't think we're going to at this point because it really would just be a waste of time.
I want to just talk to Moni. Like, I don't want to waste my time. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to bring up our toolkit so we can talk about it. Okay, so Moni, we think that everybody, which is what you provide, I mean, well, this is part of it actually, so it's going to be in there, but we bring up a toolkit, which is something that every entrepreneur should have, and it doesn't mean that you have to have paid things, but you can have free versions. And so I think all of us know Canva or have heard of Canva, and I think that most of us use it. So again, this is, I use it. This is what we did to make our graphics today. It's usually what I use for all of our graphics because I don't have the bandwidth to do all the Photoshop things. Can I use it? Sure. But I got to read it. So we write a script so we can stay on point, and I did not stay on point there.
It's a guideline, but sometimes Selena's just got to go right back to the script.
Yeah, I do, because I'm like, wait a minute. But anyway, we wanted to talk about this because this is why we have Moni on today. But Canva can be used commonly for IG posts and Facebook posts, but did you know that you can create flyers, presentations, and Christmas cards and pitch decks, aka slide decks. And if you did not know our what you call that, our topic today is pitching and you're an entrepreneur. And here, I'm going to bring that up real fast. See right there, guys? Yeah, that's what we're doing. Serial entrepreneur, pitching your business.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So
anyway.
So one of the things that both Selena and I had discovered when we first joined AMSE was they have this excellent selection of free tools and resources. And it is everything from how to get started as an entrepreneur, and it goes down through marketing and going to market if you have a product. And I mean, I can't even think of all the different things that are on there, but one of them is pitching. And this, of course, can mean a number of different things depending on what your business is. But in our case, what we were looking at is this pitch section it's a free resource. It's for all members. So if you come on as a paid or not paid member of AMSE, then you can utilize this pitch deck. And it included 10 slides that every pitch deck should have. So it kind of gives you the framework to create your own sales tool, essentially, for your business and what you do and what you're great at. So Moni, just really quickly, I mean, we're talking about kind of Canva, but, skipping past Canva, and when you're creating a pitch deck, what would you say is the most important thing to be aware of on the visual representation side of things when you're creating a pitch deck?
Yourself.
Okay.
I can't stress that enough. And it's one of the biggest things, like, even with like current clients right now, sometimes it's like, why are we using this logo for everything? We need photos of yourself. People want to see people. They want to be able to relate. No longer are the days of like, logo. You remember when logos were like a hit? It was like, oh, you're gonna have a logo, your business card, and all of this. It was like a really big deal. Like if you didn't have a logo, like a professional logo, you were not a legit business.
Right.
To me, the most important thing about pitch deck, the visually, is representing yourself as a person. Like, hey, I'm so and so. There is a person behind this brand, and then I think just keeping it really clean and neat. That doesn't mean you have to change your style. Like if you like modern, or if you like, I don't know, chic, or whatever style you have. They have different styles or architectural features. You can use some of those, but I would say probably cut them in half. And Canva has perfect templates for that. Like they already have them pre-made. Who's a designer has already created it. So if you're attracted to one of them, it's more than likely that person understands what you like, and you open it up and you fill it in.
Yes. Huge fan of that. And you can remove or add elements as needed. But it really does, when they pre-create those templates for you in Canva, it comes with corresponding fonts and images and colors and all that kind of good stuff. So
you know what I don't I know
we just got an angry reaction, and it's from my husband, and I don't know why. He apparently fat fingered it. We'll be having a conversation a little later today.
Okay, but no, can I just say this though? I know yes, we're part of the military spouse community, but I think like what Moni and Flossie's put together, I mean, it also like works for the non-military spouse.
Yes.
And I just kind of want to bring this up because I've only been a spouse for 5 years, and I spent most of my career really as a civilian. And I just think like the military spouse community is such a hidden talent that most people do not know exists. And that was myself included, and so anyway. So even if you're not a military spouse, all the good juice that Moni is going to like bring forth today with her answers, it's going to apply to anybody.
Yeah.
Or, go marry a military service member so you can be part of AMSE. Whatever works.
Yeah, that's a little extreme, but if that's the way you have to go to become part of the team.
Is that what it takes? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we took 3 of the topics that are on the AMSE pitch deck. And we picked out these 3 because we think that they're some of the more difficult ones for entrepreneurs to kind of come up with answers for, I guess. And so we're hoping that you can help us by answering like kind of some questions about those 3 topics. Are you up for this?
Do my best.
All right. Okay, so the very first one, question 1, we would call the problem slide. And you describe this slide as being the place to clearly outline the problem you are solving for your customers. Okay. So what do you find to be the biggest challenge for business owners when they're identifying and defining a problem and pitching that to someone? Because they don't want to look bad in front of their customers and clients. So how do you talk about something that you don't want them to be, you don't want to like throw something in their face. So how do you talk about it without offending, I guess, is maybe the way even we would go.
So one of the really, really important things I always encourage people to do is to have some statistics. So that's a really great way. So for AMSE, we always talk about our problem is the military spouse family ecosystem and the unemployment rate. We talk about military spouses are 24% underemployed and why that's the problem. That's the problem because it hinders the relationship for the active duty member who's in service, who their spouse is not happy with where they're at. So it affects their performance. It affects the spouse's mental health and wellness. It affects their financial. So if you talk about it with statistics first, instead of saying, this is not working, in a negative way, I think that's the easiest way to slide into that deck. Statistics are everything.
Super smart. What if you're somebody that doesn't, what if you're not offering what if you're doing like a product? So you would be saying like, let's say a soap maker. Okay. Somebody's coming up. So
she's like, I can do it. Ready, challenge accepted.
So pitch me a problem like somebody who is creating like bubble baths or bubble soaps or, like bath bombs or something along those lines.
I got one. So and I took a bath yesterday.
So you can.
So listen, one of the things I don't like about my bubble bath soap is that you put it in, it tells you when to put it in, but then when you get in, the bubbles be halfway gone.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm going to create a product that is activated when your skin hits the bubble. Ideas, whoever got ideas out there. So maybe something along the lines of 89% of
statistics
users are unhappy with their bubble volume when they
I love that.
First of all, you have piqued my interest because I'm like, yeah, I want that kind of a bubble bath.
Yes. The bubbles always diminish the minute you get in.
Like I'm like, it's because my body hit them all up. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So you guys, Moni literally just gave you an idea of how to pitch a problem without sounding like you're an idiot. You need me because this. She literally softly went in there and she's like, yeah, we do all have that issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is why she's so good at what she does, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to do another one. What about a manure salesman?
Let's just try to figure out the smell.
Just kidding. All right. Okay, question number 2. Selena, you want to take this one away?
All right. Okay, our second question that we wanted to bring up is in her slide of 10 decks, 10 things that you should do is the financial slides. If you have financials, great, but what if you're a startup? What if you don't have anything? What kind of information should we be sharing, and what is too much or too little?
If you don't have anything, you want to put projections based on your SWOT analysis from other organizations who are either doing something similar. And let's just say you have a product or a service that somebody's doing half of it here and half of it there. You can bring those into it and have some projections based off of that. So
Moni, really, can you define SWOT analysis for our listeners just in case they don't know what that is?
Absolutely. So a SWOT analysis is where you take your business and compare it to another model that's similar. So you would, I literally had like a brain fart.
No.
Yeah, I know it. I can't remember what the acronym is. Hold on, I'm going to find out.
It is early. We are only on
about this. We're going to talk about this today. Like,
it's strengths, weakness,
strength, weakness. Yes. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. So you want to do one. In these four corners, you pull other businesses into there. So the strength is what, and then maybe you find another company who has what your strength is over another company, what your weakness is over another company. And then you pull forecasts and you do it from there. So I would say if you don't have any financials to share of your success or the impact that your product or service has, to pull a forecast.
So smart.
You do have numbers. You don't want to share every small detail, but you want to put in like a bird's eye view, like an overarching, like we have sold this much in volume, this much in the United States, this much in European countries, or how many products have you had returned? So if it's a really low amount, that's something you want to share, right? Like what's your churn rate? Or, if you've only had 2 products out of, 500 returned, that's amazing. That's really a great number to share. Like we only had 1% of, less than 1% of products sent back to us, or, the numbers from your customer ratings. So if you do customer ratings on there, you can add that as well. I would not necessarily put like how much your debt to income ratio is. If you're pitching for investments, I would definitely put like what you're asking for. That's depending on the type of investment call that you're having. So yeah, I think it just depends on what phase you're in, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so for somebody who doesn't have an actual product, but is a service provider, like a coach or something like that, then in this case, if they don't have financials to share, that could be like satisfied clients, or, even like, I would think different niches that maybe they are trying to get into, or something along those lines.
Yeah, you can put, so what, we do at AMSE too, is we ask a lot of questions. We want to know your feedback, like what is working for you, what's not working for you. So one of the things you should be doing if you have a business is sending out surveys, asking questions. How are things working? You can always pull that as well and include that into the financial section if you don't have finances to show for.
Yeah.
That's so smart. So smart. I love the feedback survey thing. One of my clients, she just launched her course a couple of weeks ago, and we sent out a feedback just so because she's going to relaunch the course for its second launch in January. And the feedback only just helps you either improve or evolve, or it's the extra eyeballs, or you're in the right space when they're just like all loving on Moni like how we did. Like so.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. So question number 3 is about the close or the ask. Okay. So basically, we've all seen Shark Tank. I mean, you were just talking about investors, right? So in Shark Tank, they pitch their thing, and then you're sitting there and you've got these 5 like big important people sitting up there, and you're like, you're holding your breath. And when they say no, that is like a final no, right? And you're not going to be like, I mean, some people do still beg, and it's almost sad to watch sometimes, right? Please change your mind, that kind of thing. But so you define what you want. You've got your financials. You've got like all your successes and whatnot, your strengths in there. And then how do you prepare and formulate an ask that is like, what kind of things you need to say to get your client like totally on board with you? Like, how do you do that? I know that's kind of a huge open-ended question.
I know.
Hard question.
She's like, this is a nighttime question, Anna. My brain needs to be like,
this is a third cup of coffee question.
Well, what are some key, let's put it this way. What are some key components of an ask that people should be thinking of when they're creating it?
Absolutely. So no, I mean, this is really good, especially if you're like asking for sponsorship money or investors. You always want to know why you're asking for the money. And it kind of detailed why, like if you're growing your team, if you're building technology, if you have a product and you have to have like overhead and operating expenses and management expenses, like those are all really important things to have already when you have that big number. So if your number is 1.5 million, then you want to say this is for an 18-month runway. So you got to tell them how long it's for. Then you got to tell them why you need it. Why do you need it? You know, you're building technology, you're onboarding a team, and all these different layers need to go in there instead of just asking for the money. If you're asking for money for a sponsorship, people want to know what that's going to. So at AMSE, our sponsorships are going to give scholarships to spouses. So they want to know how many scholarships they're getting with the sponsorship, what they're getting in return for the sponsorship, if they're getting a live, if they're getting emails, if they're getting push notifications. You know, in my other business, I have an app. So when we get sponsors, we send push notifications. You know, they love that. So you have to have all of that down there. And that's how you can formulate how much that ask is. So you have to know your operating expenses for how long, so that when you ask them, they know that's going to take you 18 months. So in 18 months, you can come back and say, hey, it's almost time. We're done with what you've given us.
Yeah.
These are the people we've affected or impacted, technology that we've built. And now our ask is X, Y, and Z, and this is why. So
no, you have to make it so hard for them to say no, right, Moni?
I know, but sometimes they just say no anyway. Sometimes it's not even your product or service. It's just, it might be they only invest in enterprise companies, or it might be only sponsor tech companies, or it might be that their mission doesn't align with your mission, and that's okay. I was just talking to a girl the other day who just raised an angel investor, and she had 921 no's before she got one angel.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I talked to another person like 2 days ago, and they were like, I pitched to 1,202 or something like that before they got a yes. So it just depends. It might not be a good fit, you know?
Right.
And that's okay. But one thing I always ask, if there's a no, I always say, absolutely, I understand, but do you know of somebody who may be interested or align more with our values and our mission? Do you mind making an introduction?
Oh, that's so smart. So see, you went ahead with part 2 of this question, which was, you know, what can you do to prepare yourself for a rejection? Like, what kind of response should you have ready to go?
Yeah. So asking for that, like, absolutely. Thank you. I respect your decision. You know somebody who you could introduce me to who might be interested, or their values align with our mission for what we're doing. Do you mind making that introduction? Or, you know, do you mind if I just send you a few updates every month? You know, like, you should send out an update every single month to the people that you've pitched or the people that you're connecting with, so they can know what you're doing. Because at any moment, they could be like, wait a minute, I just got funding for something like that. Let me reach back out. You never know.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No doesn't always mean they don't like your product or service. It could be,
no, not right now.
Yeah, funding is not an option right now because they've used their funding for the year. It could be they're on hold. It could be that, you know, not right now. They're transitioning. Their company's transitioning. It'd be a lot of things. So don't ever take a no as a personal rejection. Just write it off as a tough skin. Get feedback too. Ask them, like, do you mind if I ask why? And write the feedback down and make sure that you're tracking everything.
Moni, that's so true. I'm going to age myself a little bit. So in the 90s, I had to take a course because I was a server in the restaurant that started my restaurant career. But we had to take a seminar that was this guy that sold $1 million in food and beverage in 1 year. And, you know, I was like in my 20s, I was like, oh, mandatory. Like, it was a mandatory thing, right, for work. And you're like, we show up. But I look at it now going, but the biggest thing I took from him is he's like, you always have to ask. And this is going to be a very simplified, like, he goes, when I'm at your table and you order a cheeseburger, I'm always going to just ask you, did you want onions and mushrooms on that? Right. Yeah. And if they say no, oh, well, that's fine. But if they say yes, he's like, if I don't ask, I'm not going to get to the yes.
Right. Right. Or get to somebody who can.
Yes.
Because you have a network. Everybody has a network.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and like, let's just metaphor it, right? Maybe the guest over there that I haven't even asked, you're like, oh, I want the mushrooms and onions. I didn't know that was an option. Like you said, if that is like a friend to who you're pitching is like, no, I know they can't, but I am.
Right.
But the important thing is you have to keep asking, and don't, like you said, we're human. When you feel like beat up from the nose, that's okay. Take a minute, go have a margarita at a bar, tell the poor bartender your whole life story, and then brush yourself off, go back out.
You can go to the bar, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's true. Metaphorically, like I'll go up to my kitchen bar and I'll make my daughter be the bartender, and she's like, I just came to get ice cream, so I don't want to hear about your woes in your office.
But this is why your community is so important, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and feeling confident and comfortable within your community that you have something of value, and being able to say, oh, I pitched the 5th time today and I got another no. And having people go, you can keep going, you can do it, or even, I love the idea of asking for feedback, because there's always an opportunity to improve, and you can take the feedback and use it or not use it. That's your choice. I mean, if somebody says, I hate your pitch style, your voice annoys me.
Oh.
Not much you can do about that, right?
Right.
Okay, moving on. Thank you for your time. Going somewhere else.
Shark Tank. That's crazy up in there.
Yeah. I would be nervous. I don't think I could do it. I would be like that person that either word vomits too much, where like the production company is like, cut, like, yo, like you got to let everybody else try to talk, and then I'll just be like, I'll go down the long hallway. I shouldn't be out here in front of the cameras, but
I'm going to be the one in the cost and comfort zone right there. I'm like, let me just act a fool. Somebody else talk.
I would probably, I don't even know what I'd be like. I'd be a mess.
No,
I'm probably even talking too fast. I talk really, really fast when I get nervous. And then I throw in like this, like straight Latina stuff. I'm like, no, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Service.
I feel like Latinas and Polynesians, that's what I am, are very similar in that, all the hand gestures, like, you know what I mean? Like we're Italian all of a sudden, and it's like, I cannot, like, we joke, I don't know if a Hawaiian can really talk without using their hands, because it's just like a part of, the conversation, right? So
like the whole conversation.
Exactly. It just reiterated my point. Like,
Hilarious.
I'm going to be really conscious of my hands today, as I have multiple things happening.
Well, you know what I do when I sit at my desk? I sit on top of my hands. During like an interview, I sit like this, and you'll notice now. Like if you go check any interview,
now I am,
or things like that, you'll notice I'm like this, because I like to use my hands. You know what I meant when I said you pitch that and you get it. And then this is how I talk, So I figured today was okay. I'm like, yay.
That's going to be my question. The next time I see you on a live interview, I'm going to be like, my question, I'm going to be like, Moni, are you sitting on your hands right now?
Or I'll sit on like one. Like that. And when I speak in public, because I still use my hands.
Yeah,
I usually have a rock in one that has a cross on it that my husband
to hold
for public speaking, and so I hold it in one hand the whole time. So only one hand is doing the whole.
This, like you're your own like sign language interpreter. You're like, no, I'm not. I hope I didn't say anything inappropriate, because my hand just does what it does. No.
So that's a really good tip that I've been trying to do.
You guys, if you don't take anything away from today's show, Moni just says like, keep one thing in another hand if you're a hand talker,
Yeah, just do it. Just try it. It's hard. And then your hands get all sweaty. So they're like trying to move, but you're like, no, stay there.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to like rewatch this video, and I'm going to just see the madness of me and Moni's hands, because sometimes I don't realize it. I'm like, oh. Moni, maybe we should just have a show. Let's just have a show with our hands. Like, let them just talk.
Totally do it.
We're ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Okay, tell us in the comments at some point if you ever watch this. I know you will. Tell us if you're a hand talker like Moni and I. I'm just curious.
Yes, seriously.
Okay, I guess we're wrapping it up.
Well, yeah, a little bit. So before we move on, I do have, so Moni, One of the things you wanted to talk about today was AMSE, which we have talked about, AMSE, but tell us a little bit more, like, I guess I'm saying, pitch us some AMSE. Pitch AMSE. Tell us what's going on right now and why people need to be there with us.
Yeah. There's like no reason not to be a part of AMSE. I mean, we made sure that we created a place for everybody to come to start, scale, and sustain their business. I think that's one of the things that, you know, I noticed in this space, and Flossie noticed, where, you know, people are always asking questions like, where do I get an LLC? What do I do for this? What do I do for that? Or I've been in business 5 years and I've leveled out. I don't know what to do next. And, you know, so AMSE is the space that we wish we had, and we wish that Bases had for us to come and get this information and have this community and the resource. So AMSE is a digital membership. It is free, or we have a premium subscription. We offer masterclasses, co-working spaces, happy hour, group coaching. You have your digital dashboard with over 70 downloads and printables. We have the masterclass replays. We have the Build Your Business the AMSE Way coursework that also gives you 7 units with 65 downloads. Goodness, what else? We have our amazing chapters, and you guys are phenomenal chapter leaders. I am so appreciative. You guys are the bomb.com. They're always on top of it. You guys are doing so many phenomenal things, and you're building community and helping us build a tribe and building your own tribe of people who, you know, want to start video or do what you guys are doing. Yeah. You guys are doing the same thing. So you guys are inspiration, and you're such an advocate and so important in our space. And we're just so grateful to have you guys as part of our team. So we have 7 chapters. These 2 ladies head up to Fort Hood. So if you're in Fort Hood, you better get over there and join them. Right now it's all virtual, but it's fun. And I think one of the things that we are the biggest advocate for is community. Is you really, and I know it seems like such a cliche, like community. No, it's like it is. You cannot do life without community. It takes a community to raise children. It takes a community to build a business. You cannot do it alone. It's not a thing. And if it's lonely as heck. And who wants to do it themselves, right? We have a lot of peer-to-peer mentorship on the Slack channel. So you can go in and ask questions and just take a deeper dive and have a deeper connection with your community. Goodness, we have the podcast, the Owning Up podcast. We talk every month about the different things that we're doing. And we're talking about real issues that spouses are actually going through. I feel like a lot of information out there is so expired. So we're really talking about today's topics, and we're talking about from our point of view and our lessons learned. And we're sharing the stories in the Stars and Stripes Military Spouse Entrepreneur Guide, which came out last year. And my sister was from Germany.
I know. Okay, real fast, so Moni, and she's going to talk about it, but that, if you want to talk about community and collaboration, like Moni and Flossie did not need to incorporate all of us that were part of their community in this. Like Anna and I are in it along with all the AMSE members that they could stuff in there. Like, huge. Anyway, okay, sorry.
And we're so proud of it. And you know, Flossie was like, why don't we get spouses who have their own photos? I was like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. We have amazing, phenomenal writers. We have over 15 phenomenal writers, contributors at AMSE that talk about our AMSE experience and the benefits. And we have corporate national organizations who we've partnered with who come in and do masterclasses. You guys, Zapier and LinkedIn, and like, it's not the same people over and over. We really want to tell spouses, like, you can do so much with all of these tools if you implement them. And then we go out and we find them and we bring them, and they host a masterclass. They give us amazing discounts. We're so thankful for our corporate sponsors, USAA and Amazon Military, and Stars and Stripes, who just support us and allowed us to get that guide out that you can still pick up. If you want one, let me know. I have some here I can mail to you.
Yay!
And be on the lookout for 2021, honey. So
never know what's gonna happen. And you guys see,
it's fantastic. So if you haven't tried it, come try it. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe, which I hope you do. And
yeah.
you know,
So it's for military spouses, active duty, or retired. It doesn't matter.
Or divorced.
Or
like,
divorced. There you go.
Like, we do get some spouses who are like, I was married for 21 years, or can I still drink? Listen, once you're a spouse, you're always a spouse. Okay. We went through that journey, whether it was 5 years, 15 years, 25, like, you understand the lifestyle, and there are things that happened in that time that could have stagnated your growth in your career, you know, and this community can help you in some way. So, and it's for women and men. That's another thing. You know, some communities are very female centric for military spouses, and our organization recognizes that there are male spouses as well.
Yeah, for sure.
No, super important. Yes. Hi. So you're also very inclusive. I mean, geez, Moni, stop being so great.
I mean, you know, it's hard. You know, and it's also for, like, we get a lot of questions like, is this for if I'm starting a business or if I have an idea? It's for everybody. I promise you, once you get in there and you start looking around, you're going to be so inspired and be like, oh, it was an idea, but now it's going to be a real like, I'm on fire, right? So, you know, just join. Let Flossie and I know if you have any questions. You can email us at hello@amse.co. You can head over to our website at amse.co and check it out and get to know more about what we do and the community we serve. And if you want to work with us, let us know.
Well, then I'm gonna bring this up then, since we're kind of Moni, I want to be with you on a photo like sesh, because
me too.
You're so
expose her into one of our brand pictures.
I'm all like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm boring. Like, I'm a very boring, like, I don't know how to have fun like that. So anyway.
Well, it's all a state of mind. So one of the biggest things I always think of when I'm shooting is like, be your most craziest, funnest self. Like the person that, like, if you saw somebody doing it, you'd be like, I'm so embarrassed. You know, and the photos come out so fun. I like to be professional, but my biggest tip is just to be like, just let yourself free. Like, don't even think about anything else. Just be you.
You also need to tell me where you get some of your fun shirts, because can I just tell you, you have like some of the greatest clothes ever. I'm like, where do you get that?
I'm a curvy woman, okay? So I'm in a few places, honey.
I need to know.
So this top is from Torrid. Torrid is like a younger version of Lane Bryant. We have like all the fun, quirky, modern type of clothing. All of my stuff from there.
Maybe I need to look a little hard. Maybe I just need to be more adventurous in when I'm looking.
Girl, just do it. What, this don't normally go in my closet.
No. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, this is where you find Moni. Go connect with her on LinkedIn. Find her on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at either at herself, Moni Jefferson, or AMSE Agency. Like, this is where you find her. And I don't know why you would not want to connect with her, because again, she's so fun. You all know she said if she's animated, she will talk with her hands. If not, you have the more like she's pulling herself together, she'll be sitting on her hands. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to. Or can they find you anywhere else? Like, this is where they can find you, right?
Yeah, just Moni Jefferson all over. It's Moni Jefferson everywhere. That's everywhere.
I love it. Okay, Anna, wrapping up. Let's
okay. So for everybody that's been listening today, we do have a question for you. We want to know, do you have a pitch deck right now? Is this something that's in your toolkit currently? And, you know, then whether you answer yes or no, we've got some follow-ups, you know, like, really? When did you create it? What's on it? Where do you use it? How frequently? Just because we're a little bit curious. This is not something I currently have.
I don't either.
So I totally need one for this whole situation.
We do. I know. It's on our 2021, like January kind of like, you know, projection, because it is something that we've got on our list of things to do, but I haven't done one yet. So this was super timely, and I'm excited and enthused now to come up with some slides and some content and some information about it.
For sure.
So
for sure.
that's the first thing today. And then let's see, tag us. Make sure you tag us 15ish MCC, hashtag 15ish MCC, and or either of our business accounts. And thank you so much for joining us. You can listen to us on the podcast. You can now find us on YouTube. It's a brand new YouTube channel. We're so excited. We just keep going and going and going.
I know. I know.
You guys are doing great. You're
amazing. No, you're inspiring.
Yeah, so podcast, YouTube, Facebook are the three main areas for the 15-ish minute coffee chat. And then just to kind of wrap us up, next week we have Stacy Hoker. She's a digital marketing strategist and a book educator. And Stacy is going to be talking to us about Google My Business. So so we're super excited to have her on. But rounding it up, back to Moni. Whoa, Moni. That lady right there. Moni, thank you so much for your wise words of wisdom. And thank you so much for being the founder of such an amazing community. I mean, seriously, I don't know if Selena and I would be doing what we're doing without that.
Oh,
yes. And I'm going to leave this with a win, just so you know, Moni, because of your community, you helped me get a job with another spouse in the group that also led to me and Anna being board members to the nonprofit organization that she runs. Without you providing that space, that's not where I would be today. And I can't add that to my resume of life. So this is the kind of space that you create. And so this is why you all need to just either, you know, if you can't, because you're not a male spouse, create or find a community like Moni has created with Flossie, and just, you know, do all the great things. That's all Moni wants.
All the words of wisdom. Do all the great things. Moni, any last words for our listeners today?
Do what you do and do it well.
Love that.
Yes.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in with us today. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye, guys.